I'm going to talk a little bit about faith. I'm a religious person, but I'm not. I'm a liberal religion person. I am a Catholic, but I go to Christian churches, and I take values from both because to me it's all about your relationship with what you believe in. You know, whatever it is. Literally, if you believe in just the universe, or if you believe that there's nothing, well, go. Who am I to destroy your faith in something? And so, faith, for me, in my context, the way that I've been using it in my life in ways that change me, faith is being blind, or being in the dark, not knowing the way, but trusting in whatever God you believe in, that if you take the first step, you will land. You don't see the second step yet. Faith for me, ganito siya. Faith is, kahit hindi mo makikita yung daan, may tiwala ka na may hagdan. Diba? So you'll take the step, not knowing that there is a second. And you'll take the next step, not knowing where a third one will come. Because it's not always linear. God's plan for your life is not always linear. You can take one step forward and then 2 steps back. Not because He wants to punish you or forsake you or forget about you, but because He wants you to transform. Transformation is not a bad thing. Because what God calls for us, and it's in the Bible, is that He wants our hearts to transform. To seek Him instead of the world. The reason why I'm like this right now, the reason why I'm talking about God so much right now, is because I'm overflowed, overwhelmed by His grace and His mercy and His forgiveness and His kindness. And this is not because, I don't even know. This is coming from a place of sorrow. I've searched for love everywhere. I've searched for validation from peers, from romance, from elders, from parents who aren't even my parents. I've searched for all forms of love because I feel I'm so empty. And that emptiness turns into loneliness, and that loneliness turns into me not being able to sit with myself. And so the only way that I've been able to really breathe, that feels like it's an actual breath of relief, of sustenance, of power, of self-growth, is through God. This is my testimony, okay? I've learned that from searching for love through all of the things that I love to do, arts, writing, movies, singing, I've learned that it's never enough. Hindi sapat ang pagmamahal ng iba. Kahit yung pagmamahal ng sarili hindi siya sapat sa akin. Dahil never akong natutunan paano magmahal sa sarili ko. Kaya hinahanap ko sa iba. At ang nahanap ko ay walang katapatan ang pag-ibig ng Diyos. Nothing can measure up to the love that God has for us and the grace and the forgiveness that He has given us. Nothing. And I've tried. That doesn't mean I'll stop. I'm a human being. I'm emotional. I need validation. I crave for it. Every one of us craves for validation. No matter how nonchalant we are. All we want is to be seen. All we want is to be heard. All we want is to be loved. That's all everyone ever wants. It only just comes out in different ways. And so, me in this season now, I'm going through changes. And the very first change comes from this. My heart is transforming into a heart that seeks for God's love and not for the love here in the world, because that's not going to be enough. And I know that. And as much as I crave for it, as much as I crave for love and attention, I know it's not enough. And so I'm searching for God's love. And I'm searching to be a vessel for God's love, not just for myself, but for others, because that's what He calls us to do. And that's why I am preaching His word and His holiness, not for myself, but for whoever's watching this. I don't want to be those Christians that, save yourself. But if you feel, or if you've ever felt in your life that you're alone, if you've ever searched in your soul for love and it's never been enough, then maybe God's calling you to transform as well. Because years ago, I didn't even care about God. I was agnostic. I knew there was something, I didn't care about it because it felt like whoever was up there didn't care about me. But slowly, so slowly, the seed was planted. Through the people that I met, the people that I lost, the life that I lived, the seed was planted and it was tended to. God sends angels in our lives so that we transform. And so if I am somebody's angel, and if somebody's listening to this now and their faith is revitalized or just rebirthed, then search for Him. If anyone feels this way, like they're searching and all their searching is leading to nowhere and nothing, I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. I know how empty and how lonely and how broken that is. But search for Him. Keep searching, but you're searching in the wrong places. Don't search for it in your friends, in your loved ones. Don't even search for it in your family. Kasi sa totoo naman, isa lang yung may hawak sa atin. And it's not us. It's God. It's God. Whoever that is for you, it's God. Just spend some time trying to get to know Him. Because that's all that He wants. All that He wants is to get to know you. All that He wants is a relationship with you. That's what I've learned, is what we as human beings have a difficulty doing, loving without condition. Kasi sa tao, it's mamahalin kita kung mamahalin mo ako. Pero hindi naman yan yung sabi ni God, di ba? Love is patient, love is kind, love is not self-seeking. It does not harbor any resentment. It does not keep score. It gives freely. But us as human beings, as emotional beings, we have a hard time being free because we don't know God's grace. And so God's grace gives us the opportunity to love freely. And that's the greatest love of all. So the people who have guided me on this journey are the ones that I see Christ in the most. My friends, my mentors. I see God's patience and God's kindness through them. And they've helped me search for Him in an easier light, because I know that there are people in the world that have been overwhelmed by their sins, that have been overwhelmed by their emptiness, and yet still have such a joy in life. A joy that doesn't seem like it will fade. A joy that is backed up by strength and not by seasons, because seasons change. You know, seasons change. You can be in a season of love, of joy, of happiness, but you can also be in a season of deep sorrow, of depression, of hurting, of suicidal ideations. That's valid. You're only human. Nobody's telling you to be otherwise. But what my heart is transforming into is a heart that no matter what season I am in, I will be holding on to the one thing that doesn't change. God, His Word, His love. Faith is taking the step, not knowing that there are more steps. Not knowing the path, but still taking the step. And so, His love for us comes through a relationship, a deep relationship. And so if you have a relationship with God, but it's just warm or lukewarm, and you rarely talk to Him, then maybe He's calling to you. If you watch this video for whatever reason, who the heck am I talking to? I'm talking to a camera. But it's God talking. Telling me to just talk to Him. Because that's all He wants, a relationship. Hindi siya conditional katulad natin. See, that's how I would love. What do I have to offer? What do I have to offer that will not fade or wither? Nothing. Everything about me will fade. Everything. But I hold on to the one thing that I know won't. The way I love is conditional, because I'm only human. I want love so badly, but I don't know how to be free. Love is supposed to be free, right? Not held down by conditions, by restrictions, by whatever. You love freely because that's how God intended us to be, free. He granted us with the gift of emotions to express them, not to be held back by them, to empathize with others, not to destroy. He gave us emotions so that we can use them, not be used by them, right? And so when God loves us, there's no expectation. He loves each and every one of us, even those who don't believe. The sinners mostly. Most especially the sinners. And us, we look down on the sinners. But those are the ones who God loves the most. Because they're the broken ones. They're the ones who need Him the most. They're the ones who need the most love. I'm a sinner. You're a sinner. We're all sinners. Why can't we love each other? Why can't we love each other without expectation, without holding on to resentment? Because we're only human. That's fine. But God calls us to be set apart, to be stronger, To love without expecting to be loved. Knowing that all the love we ever need is with Him. And through Him we'll find it. Through Him every wound will be healed. Every miracle will take place in your life. And I know it. I know it. I know it only because I felt it. I know it only because it's happening in my life and I'm transforming. And transforming sometimes looks like crying every night. Asking God, why did this happen? Or God, why am I not where I want to be? Transforming sometimes looks like waking up feeling like you no longer want to live because you no longer see the path. But that's where I say, hold on and keep holding on to life, to love, to Him, to God. Because it's in the darkness that you will truly see what light is and how bright it can be. If you feel hopeless with something, just have faith. Faith is not knowing where the road will lead, but trusting that it's the right one, that you're on the right path, that you're guided, that you're loved. So that's my preaching for today at 4 a.m. because I feel very overwhelmed with God's presence and I don't know how to share that with people. And so if you somehow manage to reach the end, comment, because I read the comments. I don't even know whom I'm talking to right now. So if this somehow stuck with you, if any part of this stuck with you, then just comment. Tell me something, tell me anything. Just, yeah. I pray for you. Good night.